Imagine a social network built for you, not for profit. Imogen Network puts control back in your hands, combining AI-driven personalization with blockchain-backed ownership. Your data, your content, your rules. Create stunning content, build genuine connections, and monetize your work, all in a decentralized, transparent platform where privacy is prioritized. Ready to experience social networking reimagined? Join Imogen.network today and take control of your digital world. Imogen Network, empowering connections, redefining ownership.
Click the link at the top line of the descriptions to get the app now.
All right, so let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about what DJ Academics post earlier, actually not too long ago, about some intel that he's getting. Now, he says sources within the federal government are allegedly investigating radio stations for money laundering, illegal racketeering, fraud, payola, and many other illegal activity. RICO charges are coming soon. Get your popcorn. He puts a picture of Charlemagne, like, with the little fuzzy effect on there. Now, for one, we know that him and Charlemagne are cool, right? We know that. But what is he talking about? What people immediately start talking about Flex and start throwing other names in the pot. So first you have to look. I'm always like a guy that wants to get into like what operates, like what does stuff mean? What does money laundering mean? What does illegal racketeering mean? Let's get into those definitions before we can start narrowing things down. Now, definition goes: the concealment of origins of illegally obtained money, typically by means of transfer involving banks or legitimate businesses, right? So money laundering, somebody on the getting drug money, whatever the case may be, they're using it and funneling it through the radio station into their bank account. That will probably be one example. Not the best examples, but you pretty much, financial assets, obviously, that are moved from one place to another without detection, like legally. You know what I mean? That the feds can get their hands on it. There's no account of this money except for the account through the bank if you're dumb enough to actually put it in the bank. Well, here's no definition, right? Disguising financial assets so they can be used without detection of illegal activity that produced them. Through money laundering, the criminal transforms monetary proceeds derived from criminal activity into an apparent legal source. So I'm right. Like, and Jay-Z even talked about this, and he's done it himself, a notorious drug dealer, as well as other people in the game. They invested in the stores, businesses. But this is like, it's not like a black thing. The mob was doing this. All groups of people that come to the US, they find a way to get their money, whether it be illegal or legal. And if they're smart, they turn it into businesses. They turn it into, appreciating assets, right? So they say the RICO charges are coming, right? Now, we already know what racketeering is. We know that. We've done a lot of racketeering, cases. We talked about them, but I'll get into it. Another similar, dishonest and fraudulent business dealings, right? Racketeering is defined by a coordinated effort by multiple people to repeatedly earn a profit, typically by fraud, extortion, robbery, threats, violence, or other, and it goes to say illegal activities aimed at commercial profit. So how would a radio station, any radio station, be involved? How do you bring a RICO to a radio station? It would have to be individuals that work in that radio station or individuals that come to the radio station, whether it be for interview, music placements, whatever the case may be. My thing is, I'm interested in seeing if this is going to really unearth anything with any of these radio stations. And let's be clear, I'm not saying it's the Breakfast Club, right? But DJ Academics is insinuating. And I get that. I mean, I don't know if he put it up. I'm sure he probably had someone on his, on his payroll probably put it up. whatever the case may be. But it does beg the question: what's really going on at these radio stations? What's really going on up there? We know for centuries people have paid for placements. People, you know, have paid for all types of things to get their song played on the radio, all types of shit. But maybe I'm just naive to the whole thing. What else? Help me if I'm wrong, y'all. If I'm totally lost, let me know in the comment section what type of things could be going on at a radio station that will bring the feds in. What? I don't get it. Racketeering? Now, this could be, maybe it even goes bigger, is even bigger than the actual personalities. Maybe it's stretched to the owners of the radio station. Maybe it has something to do with falsifying views or and you know, that whole thing has been, you know, blown up as of late with this whole Drake thing and Young Thug running his mouth. And that's a whole nother story. How the feds is, they setting him up for the kill. He don't even see it. But that's another thing. I'll talk about that at another time. What's really going on out here? I would love for academics to expound. And who are your sources? Who are you talking to? Right? Now, there's been thing, because when I seen this, I did some research. Obviously, I'm not just gonna come in here and just, yeah. And I looked, and there's obviously been radio stations, you know, that have been, you know, under investigation, you know, for certain, you know, things, you know, but this is different. This is a whole nother level. We shall see how this unfolds in the next couple of days. Obviously, again, sources within the federal government are allegedly investigating radio stations for money laundering, illegal activities, fraud, and payola. Let's get an operational definition of payola as well, right? Because you always hear the word, right? So let's get an operational definition: the practice of bribing someone to use their influence or position to promote a particular product or interest. So they go on. If a record company spends enough money on payola, it can make any record a hit. Hmm. This is getting deep. How many of these artists are really hot? How many of them just have a machine behind them or a lot of money behind them? Now, there was a going rate. I'm sure it's different now, that it costs whatever, a couple $100,000 to get your song on a major radio station in rotation, right? Let's just say if you got your song in rotation, you know, on all the top New York stations, let's say every state, right? Or at least the big cities: Philly, New York, Houston, Dallas, LA, Chicago, Miami, like, you know, Atlanta, all the big, you know, media markets. It's suffice to say that you would, you know, become a star overnight, especially if your music was good. And especially if it's in rotation. Like, let's say if you pay and you're gonna have you in rotation for 7 weeks, you have a real good shot of blowing up, especially if it's a catchy song. But then it, you know, it spills on the social media, and TikTok and YouTube, and you know, and the machine keeps going. So I'm gonna throw this one to y'all. What do y'all think he's talking about? And what possible activities could go on besides the stuff that we covered at a radio station that would cause someone to think or cause one to insinuate that there could be an investigation for money laundering, illegal activity, fraud, payola, among other illegal activities? And for him to say RICO charges are coming soon, I would love to hear what you guys got to say about it. It's your brother Oga. Hit the thumbs up on the video. And if you want to advertise with us, you already know what it is. Hit my email. OGOD, right there at hiphopun.com. That's OGOD. Boom. Right there. It's right there in the red. At hiphopun.com. Let's work. Email me now. Peace.